profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Tape my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. I wanna taste your content, hold your breath and feel the can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And you may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the
What's going on, people? We are live. We are live. Right. Yo, yo, yo. What's going on? Welcome to the live stream. 1,000 subscribers. God damn. So we're just going to be chilling today. We're just going to work out what we're going to do. Going to see if we can get some more people in. I'm going to post this on socials. And then we're just going to jam out. If anyone can tell me how the audio sounds, that would be awesome. That would be much appreciated. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hope everyone's doing good. I'm just gonna get everything sorted here. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, so I need to work out what I'm doing here properly. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Alright then, guys, so basically we're just going to be chilling today. Going to do Q&A soon, and then yeah, just give me a shout if you got any questions. We're going to be looking at a few different things. We're going to do some back testing and just jam out really. So it is the weekend, so there's not much going on. Well, there's definitely nothing going on in the Forex world. Obviously that's what we trade mostly. But we will be looking at the crypto charts today. We're going to look at a little bit of back tests. If you guys got any questions about strategies, give me a shout. And yeah, let's chill. It's probably going to be about an hour and a half stream today. I wasn't to do a little bit longer, but I got some stuff that's come up, which is pretty important. But this is also important. So thank you so much for the support, all you guys that are here. Thank you for liking the stream. Yeah, absolutely mental. If any of you could let me know if the sound sounds good, if the music's too loud, too quiet, whatever, that would be awesome. Don't be afraid to say something in the chat. We are all here to have some fun today. Anyone been trading crypto today? I've had a little look at crypto today. I'm just going to look at BTC here. So BTC, the idea for me today was waiting to see if we could get a breakout of overnight lows or highs. Overnight highs here, overnight lows were here. Didn't manage to get anything. I missed this entry here. Okay, we actually had a fake out of the lows, as you can see. Broke out below. Price came back in and just rocketed up, I think, on the 15-minute. That would have been a really nice entry there. But missed out on that. Yo, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. Appreciate everyone here. I can see we've got about 7 people or so in the chat, so what's up? Thank you for joining. If any of you could let me know if the sound sounds good, that would be amazing. If the music needs to go up, down, If I need to go up, down, it's been a while since I've done a live stream. If you guys have any questions, anything at all, hit me up. I'm here to answer some questions. We're going to look at some crypto charts in a bit. We might do a little bit of back testing as well. As I said, the stream's going to be about an hour and a half today. Sound and music is both fine. Amazing. Thank you, Mark. How you doing, man? Hope you're feeling good. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday. It is absolutely lovely here in London. The weather is outrageous. I went for a skate this morning, and it was nice. It was nice. So if there's anything anyone wants to see, anything anyone wants to ask, give me a shout. Basically today, because it's the weekend, there's not much going on. Obviously crypto is the only thing that's happening live, and we will be looking at these. I might just run through these while we're chatting, while everyone's coming in, and see what we can find. Basically on the weekend, what I like to do is look for overnight highs and lows, and then from there we can look for trading opportunities. So for me, overnight highs and lows go from 10 p.m. UK time, okay, GMT, and go through to 6 a.m. GMT. And then basically what I do is I plot out the areas. Okay, so this is the 5 a.m. candle here. So I'm going to take, that's the high. I go off the 30-minute. That's just what I usually like to do. So 7 o'clock going to the 10. So this is the overnight lows there. Let's have a look, see what we were getting, if we had anything. It's a bit messy now, but earlier this morning we potentially could have got a little scalp here. You see we had a fake out of overnight lows. Price came out, broke and closed below. We came back in almost immediately, closed inside here. So a trade here would have been something like waiting for this candle to break this candle's high there. We wouldn't have got our 1-to-1, so that wouldn't have been a great trade, to be fair. Maybe on a 15-minute, let's have a look. About the same. It's a large candle. Could have got some profit maybe, but I find that on the weekends the best ones to trade are the obvious: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Litecoin. They're always pretty good. The smaller ones, the volume's not really there. But yeah, if any of you guys got any questions, anything at all, hit me up. Like today is just a bit of a celebration because 1,000 subscribers is insane. So I just want to say thank you to all of you guys that are here. Like it's I'm super stoked that you guys are enjoying the channel. I got so much planned for this, lots of vlogs, lots of going away, and I really want to try and, unlike other trading channels, try and bring across my personality into it rather than it just being about trading. You know, I like skateboarding, snowboarding, I like extreme sports, so I want to try and like intertwine it and just show you what I do on a day-to-day basis, really, and have fun. I got a few announcements today, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And basically we're going to look for these crypto charts for a bit, then maybe do a backtest session, and we'll do backtesting, and we'll backtest 2 strategies at once. Okay, we'll choose a pair, and then we'll go back for like a week or 2 starting on a Monday, and then you can see sort of how I would trade normally during the day. Absolutely insane numbers right now. Super stoked, so thank you everyone for coming in. Definitely already like the highest viewership on a stream. What's everyone up to today? Anyone trading? Anyone looking at the crypto charts? Anyone had any trades? Hit me up. Right, let's see what else we got here. So this is BNB. What we got? We got lows here. So we've got potential here for a trade, potentially to play out here. So you can see we've got overnight highs here, 10 o'clock closure here. And then we've got 2 a.m., which is the lowest, well, it's the low overnight lows from last night. So we've had a little bit of a play around. Okay, price came up here. We could have potentially got a trade up here off the resistance of these highs. Maybe let's have a look at the 15 minutes, see if we would have got anything. Not quite. No. So really what we could potentially get here is if this candle closes below this mark here, then we could look for either a breakout or a fake out. Okay, so we keep an alert for this one. So we're going to look at BNB. Let me get rid of these. And I'll just, oh, that must have been so loud. That was so loud for me. You like what's forming on XRP? All right, let's have a look at XRP then and see what you're thinking. Now, obviously, I don't know what you're looking at. You could be looking at what sort of strategy you checking out, man. I'm going to go through mine. Now I find that supply and demand strategy, the one that we use with the fair value gaps, does work on crypto, but it doesn't work that great on the weekends because the volume's not awesome. So let's have a look. Let's have a breakdown. So we're just ranging at the moment between overnight highs and lows, so there's nothing really to do there. So let's have a look. So this could have been a potential for a supply. Okay. Supply zone here. Obviously we've taken everything out. Price did push up, but we closed back in the zone. So we could have got an entry on this candle's break here. This would have been okay. Potentially. Obviously you haven't even got anywhere near our first TP yet. I haven't taken this trade, but this is an idea of what you could have taken on XRP. Okay, you got this area here. Price pushed down. And this area actually pushed price down quite a bit. And you can see strong selling pressure, so lots of sellers in here. Obviously we took out all the fair value gaps, and then price closed back in that zone and gave us our entry just here. So we're keeping an eye on this. Haven't entered this. I'll make a note of this. Not live trade, but we'll see how that one ends up if we had taken that. Okay, so we go back through. I'm just going to keep looking at these charts and see if we can find anything. BNB, probably not going to give us what we want. I'm just going to try and see if there's anything that's going to pop out. So yeah, guys, don't be afraid. Give me a shout. Give me a question. What do you want to see? What do you want to do? Obviously, Q&A, and then we'll start the back testing on the Forex chart shortly. Really appreciate everyone being here. As I say, like, getting 1,000 subscribers has always been a goal of mine for a YouTube channel, and yeah, we surpassed that yesterday. And Telegram as well, we hit 100 subscribers. So that means that on Telegram, next week, not Monday because it's bank holiday here on Monday, but as of next Tuesday, you're going to start every now and then posting a live trade in the morning. So there's likely will be a trade in the morning and potentially one in the afternoon. But it won't be every day because I will be doing that down the line in a different format. But I will give you one from time to time. Also, live streams have now been unlocked on the YouTube channel. So where I can, I'm going to live stream my trading sessions. Some will be first thing in the morning here UK time. Others will be in the afternoon around 3 PM UK time, which is the London session. Excuse me. So what we got going on here then? This is actually looking quite interesting. Okay, we got a trade coming in. So this is Doge. Everyone loves a bit of Doge. Okay, so we've got overnight. Oh, okay. I'm gonna draw this in. Let's say we got in here. Here's a trade, and I'll explain it in a second. I haven't taken this trade, but we'll take it as a test. So basically, we've got overnight highs and lows going on here, okay? So where's 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock is there. Okay, so the lows after that time is here. The highs is here, okay? So this trade is a fake out trade, okay? You can see we closed nicely above the 30-minute there. Price pushed up, tried to go up again, couldn't, close back in the zone. Then this candle gave us a really nice push up, respecting this candle's high. And then we just broke that candle's low there. Now, in an ideal world, I've just entered this as an example. I haven't actually taken this on my exchange. I wasn't prepared for it. To be fair, I could probably do it right now. But we had a break of this candle's low, okay? And then potentially we could see price now come down to fill this range. Now, what we also have for price to potentially come and visit is a demand zone, okay? We've got a leg, a base. You can see the pause in price, and then buying pressure again. What pair did you see the most success on with the overnight high and low strategy? What's going on, Dwayne? I think that's how you say your name. Sorry if I've butchered that. Usually GJ is incredible, but all the major pairs on the main currency, so Aussie USD, GBP USD, and Euro USD, when I've back tested, Aussie USD actually works best out of those three, but GJ is about the same results, and you'll see in a minute. We'll back test the overnight lows and highs in about 10-15 minutes. But I'll just run through this trade. Haven't taken it, okay, and This is just one that I'm just doing for an example because we've just seen it appear now. But we've got a, let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, we've got a demand zone, right? Which is here. It's a bit of a rough run because it is the weekend, but you can see that we've had big buying pressure from this area after a rally up. So this is an area of interest that price may want to come down and visit. And if it does, then that would be great. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Okay. So draw in what we would normally do. This is TP1. And then, you know, TP2 could be 1 to 2 here. So pretty simple, right? Overnight high, fake out of overnight high, couldn't do it, close back down below, clear bearish pressure still, respecting this candle's high, breaking this candle's low, and we're looking for price to fill the range, potentially come down to the overnight lows. Great question, by the way. If anyone's got any questions, hit me up. I'm here to answer the questions today, yo. And appreciate everyone liking the stream. If you haven't already, give that stream a like. Really appreciate that. Right, so we'll watch this. We'll keep an eye on Doge. We'll put a couple of alerts on while we're looking at other stuff so we can hear things come down. What do I think of trailing stops? And something that I've never really used. I do from time to time when I have my runners. So, for example, if we get down to first TP here, as if you've watched the videos, I usually take 80% of the trade size out. Then I bring my stop loss to break even, right? So that I can get my pips, take the bank, and then we're risk-free for 20%. And sometimes the runners can just go. And if they do go, what I would normally do in this example, I don't see a runner really happening here because of this area, but say we had a runner here. As soon as we get down to here, we take our first TP, 80%, leave that other 20% to run. When we get to like 1 to 2, I'll find a suitable point around the first TP to put my stop loss. So then I've locked in that profit, and then so on and so on. So normally I'd wait for like this amount again. So if we get down to here, stop loss comes to around here, and again stop loss comes to around here, and then just lock in that runner as you go. So yeah, but I don't really have like an automatic trailing stop. I know you can use those, but I like to do it manually and just kind of follow the price like that. All right, so this is how we keep looking. See what we can find. Ethereum's not really doing much today. You can see overnight highs has created resistance. There could have been potential trades off there, but nothing that good. Right, let's have a look at FTM. I had a good trade on FTM over the weekends once before. And we're breaking out of overnight highs right now. So this could also be a potential. Let's have a look where overnight lows are here. Okay, we've got an interesting point up here. Okay, we're also breaking out of yesterday's overnight highs as well. No, not. That wasn't overnight highs. No, sorry, I need to get rid of that. That's the Forex one. It doesn't work on... Let's get rid of these. Sorry, that's my Forex one. It's different times. So what we're looking for here is if this candle does... Oh, BNB. If this candle closes above this high, then we're waiting for the next candle to come down, break this candle's high, and then boom. If this closes back below the zone, we've only got 49 seconds, then... it's not a breakout, so we just have to be patient. But we'll keep watching this one because this could be pretty good. Is supply and demand strat you have on your channel is Firebro kind of the same way I trade it as well? Sick, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, so supply and demand is probably my favorite strat, although this one is starting to take over a little bit because it's very time concentrated. But the supply and demand strategy is simple. You gotta wait for those fair value gaps to get taken out. Because I used to trade that strategy without the fair value gaps in the zone. So when I would do that, I'd wait, for example, let's have a look. Say we've got one here, right? Got a little demand zone here, in fact. If price just touched into this zone and then gave me a break of a candle's high, like we do after the fair value gaps get taken out, sometimes price would push up and it would come back into the zone. And I was always wondered why it would come back into zone, and then realized that it's for the fair value gaps, right? So for example here, got one right down here, price would like enter here, push up, and then come down, take this gap out. I'd be sweating because I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get stopped out, and then it would just peace out and go the other way. So what it does is it just allows you to here we go, sorry to interrupt myself. Are we gonna get a break for candle high here? Haven't broken it yet, so no trades yet. yeah, so when we get those fair value gaps taken out, it just eradicates that sort of sweating, and then you know that price has done what it needs to do in the zone before it continues to the upside, hopefully. Okay, so we're going to wait for this candle to see if it can break above this high. If it doesn't and turns around here and closes back into this zone, then we know that we've got a fake out on our hands, okay? Or potentially. Not always the case. It's not a certainty, but we're just trying to flow with what we can see the volume doing, right? So BNB gave us an alert a second ago. Not that interested there. Doge is still doing its thing. We're going to go back to FTM now. Yeah, just keep your trading simple, right? So I started trading like 7 years ago. I'll give you a little bit of background. Started trading 7 years ago. My friend basically showed me it. Didn't realize that it was so accessible at the time. And then just dived in. He said, you know, I've got a friend who can show me this, show me that. But I decided to just do my own research, and then just has relentlessly for the last 7 years just looked at these charts every single day. If you want to be good at trading, you need to put the work in. You need to look at these charts and understand them and see why they're doing what they're doing. Indicators are okay. I've started with, you know, Bollinger Bands, RSI, MACD, you name it, putting them all together, doing this, doing that. And the best way to trade is just price action and either a box, a couple of boxes, or a horizontal line. That's what I find works best for me. Yeah, that's how I would trade it too before, but wanted to filter some of those trades out, although implementing the confidence you use for it is awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, amazing. So it's just adds that little bit of extra confluence that the trade has done what it's going to do, and then if you can see buying volume come in then it's a good sign that price is going to, you know, return from there. And also getting a nice deep push into the zone and a rejection is always better than a quick tap, I find. So you can see one thing interesting here, okay, is FTM. Now at the weekend, and crypto especially, you get a lot of bots trading, right? You can see that we literally haven't broken this high for so long. Yeah, it's literally equal highs and it's going guarantee that this is sort of like Binance bots, or, you know, box trading bots, just literally buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, and not wanting to break through here. So that's why the weekend trading is not amazing, because look, literally hit it again, coming down, going up, coming down. So there's probably a bot somewhere just making all these micro transactions and making loads of money right here off this little resistance at the top of this candle. So we want to wait for a breakout. What else have we got going on here? Not much. Got a really nice looking supply zone up here. Have we broken it yet? Do you follow or trade a similar method to its methodology? How do you mean? I don't understand that, sorry. Do you follow or trade a similar method to its methodology? Oh, to ICT. Oh, there we go. Right. Sorry, we got our... Blah, we missed it. Breakout. Okay, there you go. You see? So if we had got that, if we had put a buy stop... I'm kind of distracted with the trade and chat at the moment. But if we had put a buy stop, the trade would look something like this. Alright, so let's see how this one goes as well. Do you follow a trade similar? So do I follow a similar thing to ICT? So there was a video on this channel I did a couple of weeks ago. It was called the Silver Bullet Challenge. Now lots of people on there thought I had basically not done it right. I saw one video on it, decided to back test it because I was interested and make a video from it, and obviously it's done pretty well. And the strategy does work. Okay, fair value gaps are very important. The way that I traded it was looking for volume and then taking trades off the fair value gaps then, and that works just as good too. So I think I've basically created a new strategy, but go check out that video if you want. It's pretty good results. But I would say that that's the only one from ICT. Normally this is one that I formulated from just looking at charts for ages, just keeping it simple, overnight highs, breakout, fake outs. I mean, some people do that, but I've got certain rules that I've made up for myself. And then the other one is the supply and demand setup, which is super simple. It's usually on the 5-minute chart, and it's just supply and demand with fair value gaps, but it's slightly different. I'm waiting for gaps to get filled rather than price to react immediately from the gap, which is what ICT usually trades in some of his strategies, I believe. Appreciate all the likes, man. 5 likes, looking good. So where's everyone from in the chat? Tell me where you're currently at. Don't have to be too specific. Country, city, whatever. I'm currently in London. That's where I live. So. Okay, so Doja's still looking pretty good. Again, we haven't taken any of these trades, guys. I'm kind of just here to talk to you guys today. We will be doing live trading setups. I mean, by all means, if you want to take some of these trades, go for it. If I was taking trades, this is what I'd be doing. From Ghana, yes, Ghana in the house. What's going on, man? Nice to meet Victor. South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa. Yes. What's going on, guys? I haven't been to Cape Town. My granddad went to Cape Town and said it was like the coolest place. So I have to take my mum there soon. She's always wanted to go. UK, Germany. Well, yes, we got everyone from all over. I love that. That's awesome. South Africa again. Yes. South Africa is, yeah, definitely on the list. Definitely on the list. Okay, what were we looking at? FTM. So yeah, this would have been a nice trade, right? We had a nice breakout, and we're looking for price to come up here for our first TP. Obviously, we've got this interesting area with good resistance. And this would have been a not quite an overnight high because that was before 10 o'clock, but still. All right, so we got these running. I'm going to add some alerts. We'll keep an eye on these, see what they do. But let's go for some Forex and let's do some back testing. So let's clear some charts. Let's go for GJ. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back in time. And we're going to get up our overnight highs and overnight lows, Asia range. And then we're going to go back in time randomly. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up here. If you guys don't know TradingView that well, this is my midnight markers. So I know where midnight is in the UK. Okay, you can find that. I actually use ICT midnight, New York and GMT, but I've changed it just to show me New York midnights. Try GU. You want GU? Okay, let's do GU. Get rid of some so actually I'll show you a trade that I had yesterday. I didn't post this one. Oh no, if I just deleted everything and it's not going to give me, oh, there we go. So yeah, really nice trade here. Where is it? There. So we had basically overnight highs here, okay, and then we broke out of that with this candle. But I actually was entering on the 15-minute here because we had this huge breakout. This line here is the overnight highs. Can you please go over the strategy again? Was a bit late. Yeah, I'm going to go through it, and you literally can follow me as we go through in a minute. We're going to back test and simulate the trading session in a second. So all good. But I'm just going through this trade here. Basically, if I get rid of that. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry, I'm all flustered here. So I had originally this set up here as a buy stop. Price then broke this low, so I deleted this buy stop. I wasn't too happy with it because I thought that potentially price was going to come back down, so deleted that. But then on the 30-minute, we had a huge push up in volume. I managed to get in just here, and then price continued. So we broke out of those overnight highs, broke up above this high here, and price continued with good volume. But let's get rid of this, and we'll go over it. So we're going to focus on the Asia overnight highs and lows to start. And if we find any supply and demand stuff on the way, we'll also go for them. So I'm just going to go back randomly. Like literally, we'll go for a while. So this strategy, I like to use a 30-minute chart mostly. Okay, so I don't know where are we? January, let's go to last year some point. November. Let's go. I don't know. September, let's go beginning of September. Let's try that. Okay. go. Okay, so this is the 1st of September. Okay, so basically what we're looking for is we've got this tool here. I don't really like to call this an indicator. I suppose it indicates the highs and lows, or indicates the Asia range, right? So let me just check this is in the right spot. Yes. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for Asia overnight highs and overnight lows. So I trade the London session. So it's first thing in the morning, London, 6 a.m. I get up, I look at the charts, I wait for the 7 a.m. candle because that's when volume starts to come in for London. So we're going to play through until 6 o'clock. Okay, because whatever happens here, I'm still asleep. Okay, so this is the 6 o'clock candle right here. Okay, so now we've got overnight highs and lows. So what we're going to now wait for is price to either give us a fake out or a breakout. Okay, look at that. So big volume. We haven't had any trades yet because we haven't had a signal really. Okay, so we just had a breakout here. So what would happen next is we want to see what happens to the next candle. Now with the replay mode, it's always a little bit scuffed because it just kind of automatically does it. Obviously when you're trading live, you have time to understand what's going on. So we have either the chance to break out here or the next candle to close back in the zone to create a fake out. Now looking at price, obviously we've been in a downtrend, so that's going to give me an indication that price is going to continue to the downside today. So we're going to look for that. Then also what I like to do is go out, zoom out and see what I can find to the left. Now we're sort of breaking into new territory for a while. You can see this is prices, the pound is dying here, and this is actually not far before we went all the way down to almost parity with the dollar. So chances are we're going to keep going to the downside here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a sell stop, and we'll set a sell stop just below here. Now I always set it just not right on the candle wick. I set it just below because I don't know what brokers you guys use. I usually use 8cap, or if I'm trading in my Forex funds, I'd use them. 8cap has a really good spread. It's very small, but you don't want to put it right here, because if you do and you come down to here, you might get triggered into the trade, but you haven't actually broken that candle's low yet. So I always put it just a bit below. Okay, and then what we're going to look for now is price to potentially take out that sell stop and then continue to the downside, right? So let's see what this next candle does. So the next candle has broken the low. We haven't quite got triggered yet, but we have closed bullish under the zone. So I'm still bearish on this move. Now if the next candle closes above this high, then we know we're potentially having a fake out. Okay, right, so no sell stops are triggered, so this is still valid. Let's see how the next candle goes. Right, so it would have been triggered then. Bang, that was pretty nice. All right, so not the best trade. I would have liked potentially for price to have gone straight from here, but we did get triggered in, nearly got stopped out, and then price continued to the downside. So that's not a bad trade there. Now if we had a runner, stop loss here, let's keep a runner going. Let's go for a 1 to 2 to start. Let's see what we would have got. Would have hit break even. Okay, so stop loss would have been break even here, so our runner would have just gone to break even, but that's fine. Okay, so we're on to the next day. You can see that 10 o'clock has started in the US, in the UK. The Asia session is going. Right, went a little bit quick there. I went too quick there, so I'm going to back up to 6 o'clock. Right, so we mark out overnight highs, overnight lows. Okay, let's see what price does. Okay, so we had a breakout. Now obviously we saw what price did there. We then respected this low, never broke out the low, and now we've got a fake out. Okay, so we've closed back in. So what I would do now is potentially look for price to break this high. So let's see what we get. Okay, an absolute massive candle. So in this case, this is why this one's quite difficult on back testing with this with the replay system, because the candle just appears. Now what we'd see is wait for price to come down here, which it did first, and then would have set a stop above here, go for a 1 to 1, which is pretty big. So let's see what we would have got. Now in this situation, obviously it would be managing my lot size, so I'm not going to just put on £1 on every trade. You know, we might have a stop that's this big, okay, I would try and trade the same amount, okay, risking the same amount depending on your plan. So let's see what we get. Are we going to get a trade? Yes, we did. So that was the fake out overnight lows. You can see we broke out, closed back in with good buying pressure. This is a 7:30 candle. So London is waking up. The London Stock Exchange is doing its thing. Volume came in and we would have got our first TP there. So we've still got a runner going because we haven't come back to break even yet. So let's see how far the runner goes. If we get one, nope, we got to break even. So that's fine. Now these trades do regularly just go to 1-to-1, but the probability of them is quite high. Now you can see we've won 2 out of 2 already so far. So we're going to keep on going. We've got some news here. What's this news? Unemployment rate. This is non-farm payroll, so it's pretty great. Yo, congratulations on hitting 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, Smaxy. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. What is the range indicator called? Range indicator is the Asia range by Nico 948. It's the one that I found that I prefer. Now, what you need to do if you do use that is to change the timings depending on your broker and also the time that you have your chart set up. I had to mess around with mine. So you see mine says midnight and 9 o'clock, where actually it's showing 10 a.m. in the UK and 6 o'clock in the UK in the morning. Sorry, 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. So you just got to try and make it fit on the chart. There might be a way to do it properly, but I'm quite happy with how it works. Right, what did we get there? Okay, FTM, our crypto trade from earlier, has just given me alert. So let's go check that for a moment. I am going to lose this. I'll open a new tab. That's a good shout. Okay. Let's see what FTM has given us. There we go. Look at that. Should have taken that goddamn trade, huh? So simple stuff. Okay, broke out of overnight highs. We had our nice clean breakout, price pushed down, broke that high, went for our 1-to-1, stop loss below the previous candle's low, and the rest is history. So really annoyed I didn't take that trade, but I've been a bit distracted with trading for streaming for the first time. Appreciate all the likes. I can see we've got 9 likes. Can we get that thing to 10? That would be awesome. So yeah, there's a real nice live trade there for you on FTM on the weekend as well. Okay, you can trade at the weekend. There is volume to be had. Right, let's go back to our back testing. I'm going to get rid of some of these lines because they do start to add up and get a bit confusing. So let's go on to the next day. Here we go. It's just starting now. Where's my midnight marker? That's it hasn't come up yet. That's fine. Okay, so interesting stuff here. We've got news on the pound here. So it's going to be an interesting morning. It's 9:30 though, so we could potentially get a trade before that happens. So we're coming up to 6 o'clock now. There's the 6 o'clock. Okay, so we've got overnight highs here. Overnight lows is actually here. So we haven't had a breakout yet. Okay, nothing counts yet. We did come out the zone, but we didn't break or close below the zone. So nothing to be had. Still nothing. Still nothing. Okay, so now we have some interest, right? We've got price breaking and closing above the highs. Now, this is getting perilously close to news, so it's probably a day that I wouldn't take a trade, although it could, obviously news means high volume, it could help out. So let's just, for testing purposes, we'll go for a breakout here. Okay, we have also what's interesting to look at to the left, you can see this gap in price. So this is a big old fair value gap. Basically the chart is just dropped down here. This is from the swap. Okay, so 10 o'clock is when the swaps finish or come in, and we've had a big drop in price. So usually when these show up like this, they want to get filled in. So this is a good indicator for me that price is going to continue to the upside today. And then this could also be seen as a supply zone, as well as this thing up here. And we have fair value gaps up here. So this could be a potentially nice trade, but let's have a look. Okay, and there we go. Nice trade. So simple breakout strategy there. Closed outside. We broke this candle, broke this candle's high. We also had confluence of a gap here and a supply zone here. Okay, so that's 3 out of 3 so far in the morning for GU. Let's keep going. Now sometimes you can get a trade where it breaks back into the zone and you can like get a second entry. don't always go for that. That news didn't really do much, did it? In fact, we did. We rode on that news. So this was news open, and that volume brought us the winning trade. So that's not too bad. Okay, so we were also, our runner here would have got stopped for break even. Now, as I say, this does happen a lot, but you don't need a lot. This is 22 pips here, right? You don't need a lot of pips a day to you know, you don't need 100 pips a day. You don't always need a 1 to 3 million R to R. Yes, I can see we got 10 likes. My guys and girls. Right. Overnight highs and lows. Let's get rid of some of this because it's getting confusing. Any questions, guys, about anything? Even if you don't understand something, I'm more than happy to go back over it. This is testing both for you and for me, right? This is helping me as much as it's helping you guys by going through these strategies and back testing. So, got a break above overnight highs. Okay, so we might get a fake out here. We've got a fake out. Okay, so we had breakout, and now we've closed quite nicely back into the zone. Now, let's see how this goes next. So we're going to look for price, what's going to happen next. Okay, so stop loss above there. Could have gone for a 1-to-1. We haven't got it yet. Okay, so when you see a price close deeply in here, like that, like solidly, then I'm always looking for fake out. And also we've got this area down here, which price could potentially want to come and see. Another thing that you may have noticed is that this candle actually broke this candle's high, right? So if you did have a buy stop above here, this would have been a losing trade. But what you can do is manage your risk here. Okay, so if you do get in a trade at this point, if I'll stop below here, and you see price close back in the zone, so you can take out your risk there. You're going to lose a little bit, but what you can do is then flow with the market. You never want to marry a trade or a direction. You just want to go with where the market's flowing. So if you do lose that trade, you then have a chance to come back with the fake out trade, because you're either getting a breakout or a fake out. Sometimes you get a bit of like play around, but you're either getting a breakout or a fake out. So you could potentially lose a trade here and then gain a trade here, and then that runner would have covered your losses. This would have covered your losses, and also this runner now. And this does happen to me from time to time. You know, get it wrong, and then I just flip my my bias if it's looking like it's gonna go the other way, right? There's only really two options that's gonna happen. And then we came down to fill the range, the overnight lows. So that runner there would have added up to 64 pips. So 80% taken out of the position size here. Stop loss came to break even, and then that thing just ran for the rest of the day until about, well, until the New York session started. Okay, so let's see if we get anything else today. No, and we're on to the next day. So currently we're 4 for 4. This one was a little bit in hindsight, to be fair, but I gave you an explanation that if you do get a fake out, and even a fake out of the highs that you think price is going to continue up, then you could turn around. Do you set your targets for a runner? I do from time to time. It might be that, for example, usually if it's a fake out, the target would be the overnight lows, or if anything is, sometimes what happens, and this has happened, right? This runner would still be going. I would have probably closed this out, to be fair, but this runner is still going on. So you could just leave it, you know, and then manage your stop. As I said, you could bring your stop loss to here when you get down to around here. So you're locking in this profit, and then when you get down to here, you could bring stop loss above this high, although you would have got taken out here, and so on. So I don't really set a target, but if I feel I'm happy with where it's gone to, and then I don't want to look at the charts anymore, because I've had it lots of times where I've set a runner, it's gone down here, and then like just turned around, I've left it and gone to break even, right? So you may as well take out what you can and lock in what you can. Okay, so moving on to the next day. Here. Okay, so overnight highs, overnight lows. Now this does work as well on other time frames. You can do this on the 5-minute, the 15-minute. I did that for a while, but I found that the 30-minute, just sticking to one time frame works for me, because if I start looking at too many time frames, you get mixed results, mixed signals, and it just didn't work out for me. Okay, so we had a nice strong breakout here. Now, as you can see, this is a big candle, okay? But that doesn't mean we're not going to take the trade, okay? So let's go for this trade. So this is a 50 pip trade, okay? But remember, you're not always going to have the same lot size. If you want to have the same lot size, you can, but you're going to be risking 50 pips. You want to look at the trades that you're having, and if you want to risk, say, I don't know what it is, £25, £250, whatever it is, you want to adjust your pip size so that 50 pips means you only lose or gain £25. You can obviously over risk, but you want to keep things kind of regular. Otherwise, you're just going to start blowing your account too quickly. And trust me, I've done that in the past. Okay, so we got triggered into that sell stop there. Oh, okay. So that would have been a losing trade there for that day. We had our push down. We didn't quite get to our first TP, and this is a big old candle, right? So we had a big stop. So if we did go down to the 15-minute, let's see what we could have got. Okay, so if we had gone for the 15-minute entry, would we have got our first TP? Literally by the pip. Okay, so that's the difference between a 30-minute entry and a 15-minute. 15-minute, our stop was above here. If you had the 15-minute breakout, you could have potentially got the trade and you would have been out of it. But yeah, that's a loser for us there. But bearing in mind, even though we lost 50 pips, we are still up because we've gained here, 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 and here. And we've only lost the same amount as we've gained here. Does that make sense? So we haven't like lost 50 pips worth. We've just lost the same amount. Right, let's see what we got next. So that's a loser there. Let's get this back to what it was on the 30. What is going on? Right. Now remember, you're not always going to be right. I'm not always right. So we have breakout of overnight highs now. Okay, this is later on in the day. It's 8 o'clock. No trades. Too late in the day for me. And as you can see, volume just died out. We didn't get anything. So we're on to the next day. Is it just one trade a day with this strategy? So I find that in the morning, it's one trade per setup, per pair, because you're looking for that one thing to happen at the one time. How many pairs do you look at during London session? So if I get this up, so this is my favorite list here. I think you can see it. Yeah. So I've got Aussie USD, Euro USD, GU, Euro GBP. I do look from time to time, although it doesn't. This one doesn't work great on it, but sometimes you do get a nice setup. And GJ. Then these, I don't trade these really on this plan, on this strategy. Although US, oh, I've just lost our place. I'll go back in a minute. Euro 30, US 30 does work nicely. So for example here, you can see that we had a really tight consolidation here. Price broke out, and then we had that nice continuation there with a runner as well. And this happens quite a lot on US 30. If we go back over here. Did we get one here? We did. So this is breakout here, push down, closed outside, and then continue to the upside. So US 30, gold, basically these top 6 I look at. 7, sorry. I hope that answers your question. Going back to, is it just one trade a day? It's one trade per pair, yeah, for me. So if sometimes I'll take a trade on Aussie USD and GU if they're both lining up. But in the morning, I'm trying to limit it to one trade in the morning and then one trade at 3 o'clock. And we'll back test the 3 o'clock strategy in a minute. Now, I've just lost our place here, so I'm going to have to go back in time. Let's go back to a day and see if we can get back to where we were. I have 3 strategies I use. I'll read that in a second, man. I'm just trying to get back to where we were. Maybe that was on. It was on this one, wasn't it? Oh, it's the same thing. Okay, we're back at 06. That is not what we want. Yeah, we were here. You can see it. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're a few days behind where we were. Let's just let price play out. and I'll read this once we get there. I have 3 strategies I use, but mainly use supply and demand, but I made a breakout system a while ago with breaks of structure, then entering off the candle break. Win rate for me is around 75 to 80%. That sounds good. Do you have win rate? Yeah, so any back testing I've done usually is above 80% for one-to-one trades. Sometimes I found that Euro GBP was around 65%, but the majors, so GU, EU, and GJ, they're about 80% plus, and that's why you can be good with the one-to-ones, because you're going to be, if you get it right, you're going to be more right than wrong, right? So yeah, so let's go on to the next day, and we'll do maybe 3 more days, and then we'll look at another strategy. Okay, so we've just had breakout of overnight lows there, closed out. Now, because we've got this here, this is a bit of a demand zone, right? Got a huge buying pressure, which is broken structure to the left and took out overnight highs here. So I feel like price is going to want to visit this area. And if we go down to a lower time frame, oh no, didn't give me the data points there. Screw you, man. Sometimes when I go to a lower time frame, it sends me back to where we were. So let's go back. Awesome, bro. That's amazing. Just goes to show that sometimes simplicity, not sometimes, most of the time, simplicity is where it's at, man. I've found that. Right, I'm not going to look at this. I'm going to go back to here. I don't want to see what happens. I want this to be as authentic as possible. Okay, so we got that breakout on the 30-minute. Where was it? It's this next candle. There's a candle coming up. Oh, we're not at the end of the day. That's why. There we go. So we're going to go for a sell here with a stop, sell stop below here. And we'll go for our one-to-one, which is targeting down to this demand zone. Got roasted. Nice. So in that situation, obviously got completely roasted there. We could then be preparing for the same thing that I've mentioned a couple of trades ago, is that when we got a strong break in close into here, you can cut the trade short, right? Because volumes come in at around 11 o'clock. You could then potentially look for a reversal trade and then go for the fake out, because volume wasn't here. I would already been pretty unhappy with how it was going after this candle closed. And then the fact that this one broke this candle's high and then closed here, we could take out some closure, manage the risk a bit, so we were actually missing out, losing out this much. So we would only lost about 20 pips instead of 30, and then I would have looked for a counter trade up to here. So we lost 2 there, and then potentially could have caught that one. But you can see what happens. We either get a fake out or a breakout, right? Again, we had a fake out of overnight highs here. This would have been a trade. So sometimes you can get a trade later on in the day, right? This would have been a nice trade here. One-to-one. Bang. How does it work on NAS? It works okay on NAS, but I found that it works better on US 30 for sure. So same thing here. Overnight highs. We came out, created resistance, broke above. Okay, even if you had a buy stop here, you wouldn't have got triggered in, because we respected the high. So that's a good sign that price is gonna, if we respect the high and then close back in the zone, that's a great sign that price doesn't want to go up here, it wants to come down here. So then we waited for a break of a candle low, and then price pushed down there. Didn't get that one. This was a hindsight trade, but still, you can see how they work. We'll go for one more day, and then let's change the strategy up. We'll look for some fair value gaps with supply and demand. Down, down, down. Look at this. Lots of buying pressure during Asia session here. Okay, so we've got overnight highs, overnight lows, current breakout of overnight highs. So let's say we got a buy stop loss below here. Boom. That's the one you want. Okay, so you can see that we've had lots of buying pressure. There's no selling pressure here at all, right? So the fact that we broke out that strong is a good sign that we're going to continue to the upside when London volume comes in. And we've also got lots going on up here that price wants to come and visit. And we broke out, we actually broke out and closed above these highs too on the 30 minute. You can see that's the high there. We broke and closed above there as well. So that's another confluence. So that thing just flew. So let's see what this runner does. Goes to break even. Okay, but then you could have potentially taken, you got a 1 to 2 there. Literally on the dot, you could have taken your runner out. Or by that point, brought your runner stop loss to here, to TP1, and you would have locked that in. So that's cool. Okay, one more. We'll do one more. Down. Got a bit of a gap going on there. And also remember, we're just looking at one pair. If I'm looking at 3 pairs and, something looks better than the other, I'll take the one that looks best to me. We could get a breakout on AU and GU, but AU just has like a far better looking setup. Then I'll take that one. We've got news coming out at 7, which is this candle here. This candle's news. What was it? Okay. Ooh. Okay, so that would have been a great trade as well, right? Strong breakout. I didn't take this one. I should have. But we haven't got to our first TP just yet. Are we going to get it? Yeah. So, strong breakout. Buy stop above the high. Stop loss below here for 40 pips. Price pieced out. Right, what day is this? This is a Monday, right? We'll go for one more. See, I just like doing this. I just enjoy doing this. This is enjoyable for me. I'd rather do this than play a video game. Okay, so this is a really good one, and I've gone a bit too far here, which is annoying, but let's go back and I'll show you another setup that you can get. This is good. I'm glad that we went for another one. Do you trade on a funded account? No, I just trade my own capital, but I am going to be doing the funded challenge again. Now, some of you may remember I did the $5,000 challenge on my channel as videos. That was like one of my first series that I did. The first time I lost a load of videos on it and I wanted to start again. The second time, my personal life got in the way and I actually got a hard breach because I didn't do it in time. So we're going to do it again, but we're going to go for either the 20,000 or the 50,000. Haven't decided yet for the challenge. And I will be using this strategy and one other, well, using the 3 strategies that I use, the supply and demand one, this one, and the 3 o'clock strategy. And I'll be using that to try and pass, and I will record every single session. So, yeah, look forward to that, and I certainly am as well. But it's going to be a while. I've got a trip coming up soon, so I may either start it before my trip, or on the trip, or after the trip. But keep an eye out. And when we go on the trip, we're going somewhere pretty cool, and I'm going to vlog the whole thing, film my trades out there, and potentially, if I can, I'll do a live stream. But I haven't really worked that out yet because I haven't done it away from my setup before. So we'll see. Okay, so going on to this trade, because I saw that this is a good one. So we had overnight highs here, yeah? So I always go off the bodies. We've got this big wick here. I always go off the body closures, okay? Now, on the 5 minute, you'll have closures up here. But on the 30 minute, the closures are here, so that's where I go for. So we've got this big breakout. So let's see what the next candle does. Not a lot. Closes like that. Now, when you get a closure like this after a breakout, so you get a bearish closure when you break out of overnight highs, but price doesn't close back into the zone. What I want to see is price break this candle's high, preferably without breaking this candle's low. So if the next candle, perfectly, right? This is a perfect setup. So you can see it didn't break that candle's low. Okay, so when this was live, it came down first. Okay, then it pushed up, and then what I would have done is had the sell stop above this high. And I can go for the stop loss this time below this candle's low, or this one, but it's about the same. And we can go for our 1-to-1. Oh, there's people going nuts outside. Okay, so we're just waiting to see what we can get. Can we get a winner on this? Oh, might not. Okay, not so good. But basically, when you get this signal, okay, I'm going to try and find another one, a good example of it. Okay, that wasn't the best example, but you can see that after we broke out, we did have put pressure up to the upside. Whoa. Right, one more. Let's see if we can find one of these. So, for example, in this situation, this is a potential messier setup than what GU might be doing. Now, you'll find that GU, EU, and AU usually do the same thing. If they're going up, they're all going up. If they're going down, they're all going down. It's not always the case, but they are quite correlated. So if there's a better, cleaner setup with just 2 candles, I'll always take that one over the 3 candle setup. So what we got? Overnight lows, overnight highs. Yep. Also got some news. Inflation rate. Inflation actually went down a little bit. That's interesting. Hasn't been doing that recently, is it? Right. So breakout. Okay, what have we got to the left? We've got an interesting area down here, which is a demand zone, which we're potentially targeting once before. But let's see what the next candle does before we take this one. Fake out. Okay, so if we had our sell stop below here, we wouldn't have been triggered, and we've closed back in the zone. So now we're going to be looking for the fake out. We got that. So in this situation, you can either enter on when this candle flips bullish, or ideally I would do it when it breaks the candle's high. So let's, for testing purposes, see if we can break out and hit our first TP now. Yes. So you can see that would have been a great trade, and we've actually got a setup here, right? So this is, we might get a really perfect thing going on right here. So we had that fake out. Any updates on your paid group? I'll give you that in a minute, sir. Absolutely. Had that fake out, didn't break the candle's low, closed back in the zone. So buy stop would have been above this candle's high. Stop loss below here, 1-to-1, shot up. Now we've got this breakout of overnight highs with also, look at this. Look at this. They want to come and take this fair value gap out, right? So this is a good target. So we probably could have got 2 trades here. Now you can see we had a breakout, and then we had that similar candle pattern that I just said about earlier. This candle pushed down, respecting the candle's low, and has just broken above here. So let's say we went for a buy now because we just took that out. And I'm going to go for stop loss below this candle's low this time for our 1-to-1. Oh, are we going to get it? Are we going to get it? The suspense. Oh, yeah. So a little bit sweaty there, but we did eventually get up there. Okay, now if we had our stop loss below here as well for a little bit of a safer one, we would we have got it? Yeah, eventually we would have got it. So that's the setup, right? You had this bearish closure, but it was above the zone. Price is undecided here, but it does decide not to break the low and break the high. It usually means price is going to continue to the upside. Now, updates on the paid group. Telegram's going to be free. It's always going to be free. Going to always have that option, and I will be putting some trades on there from here and there. But in the next probably month after my trip, or maybe I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to be launching it very soon. So this is a good time to give you some updates. So the paid Telegram will come out very soon, and in there will be, every time I take a trade, I will post it in there as and when I do it. So as soon as I see a setup, I'll post a screenshot of the trade. Now you've got to bear in mind that everyone's going to be trading on a different broker. So the numbers, my stop loss and take profits may be different to yours. Even my entry may be different to yours. So I'll always post the picture, and then you're basically just going to imitate the setup from the picture. Okay, because if I start giving numbers, you may be 3 or 4 pips different, and you may get stopped out when we don't, or whatever. So it'll be a picture, and it will look something like, hold on. So for example, it will look something like this, and I'll say sell stops above here, and then stop loss below here, and you just mimic that on your charts, and then mimic that on your trading view. We're also, another announcement, we're going to be launching our website very soon. And on the website, there's going to be a few bits and bobs. Firstly, there's going to be 1-to-1 sessions where you can buy online hour and a half of me, where literally it will just be you and I on a Zoom call. And in that call, we're going to go through all my strategies in depth. Okay, we'll look at what you've been trading recently, and I will make this dependent on your time trading. So if you're a complete beginner, then I will create that for you. I'll know what sort of experience you are before you buy in, because I'll have a little note, you know, experienced or not experienced, all the way up to very experienced, and then basically just give you as much value as I can in that hour and a half. It won't always be exactly an hour and a half, it might be more, and then we'll put it into live markets. I give you my strategy on my risk management strategy as well, and also the 3 strategies that I use. And then after that, you also can, like, you know, be in a private group with me where we can chat and discuss the trades as well and go forward with that. The other exciting thing is I'm very into my clothing, and we're going to be having a line of clothing on there as well. Trade inspired clothing, hoodies, hats, t-shirts. I have this won't be launching when the site launches in a couple of days, but it will be launching very soon, and I'm excited for you guys to see that. I've been working on it. It's looking dope. So yeah, so that's the announcement. Website very soon, one-to-ones very soon, and then clothing to come shortly after that. So keep an eye out for that, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And the paid Telegram will be coming soon too. Okay, so we've done that. Let's what time is it? 2:50. So gonna do one more trades. Let's go on to GU. Okay, and I'm gonna get rid of this. So you can see, anyone got any more questions about this strategy before I move on? That is a good thing to say. We've got 12 likes now. That is awesome. We've had 73 views in total and 6 concurrent viewers currently, which is just amazing. Thank you for sticking around, guys. Right, I'm going to go on to the supply and demand strategy now. Now, this one doesn't necessarily... Where have we been taken? Today? Yeah. So let's go up here and let's go back, like, to the beginning of this week. Monday. And then we'll cut time at 6 AM. Now, this strategy doesn't really have a time of day. Okay, that last one does. It's in the morning in the London session, because we're using London volume to break out of Asia range. This one is just one that appears throughout the day, and I'll get rid of this to eradicate confusion. But what we'll do here is we'll trade the supply and demand setups if we can find one, and then we'll trade at 3 o'clock. We'll trade the fair value gap system, which is similar to the ICT strategy. Okay, so I'll put that one on. This one just tells me when that time frame is. So let's go through the supply and demand strategy, and can already kind of see one here potentially. So the idea of this is we're going to look for a demand zone or a supply zone. Demand is when price goes up dramatically, and a supply zone is where price comes from and sells dramatically. So this would be a little demand zone here. This would be a supply zone, because you can see we had strong selling pressure from these couple of cluster of candles here. Okay, and this would have actually been a really nice tradelet. Price came up to this area. Wouldn't have taken this trade likely, because it's 3 AM. This is the Asia session. Price came up and then reacted from there. Then once we found that, we want that area to break structure. Okay, so you can see we've got a new lower low, new higher high, sorry, new lower high, new lower low, new higher low. Oh my god. New lower low, new lower high, new lower low, new lower high, new lower low, and then we just created new higher high. Oh my god. Breaking this structure here. So this demand zone has broken some structure, and we've got 3 pretty good looking candles. Then what I like to do is go down to the lower time frame and look for fair value gaps. So we've got a huge one here. Now at the moment we haven't completely taken out this gap. Now for the strategy, for me, I like to see the gap get completely taken out. So we'll see what price does. We take out the gap and we close below. So this is invalid and no trades would have been taken there. So let's move on. Yeah, so if you find a zone and then price closes below like this, then no trade. Okay, the area is invalid. It wasn't a very strong one anyway. So we've now got supply zone. Okay, you can see from this candle, price pushed down dramatically. So we want to see if price is going to come back into the zone. Let's look for any fair value gaps in there. I mean, maybe a little one here, but it's a bit of a long shot really. Let's see if price comes back to there. No. Okay, so basically I'm just going to go through. Okay, price did come back here. Now, you can see everything's been taken out, and we've actually had a bit of a liquidity grab with this candle. So this could be a setup for us, potentially. We've got good stuff to the downside for us to visit. Now, the reason why this could potentially be a setup is we've had a liquidity grab above these equal highs. Okay, now if we get a break of a candle low, we could potentially go for our trade. Didn't get that, got closed above. This area is invalid. Now, I know that for a fact that if we were trading our other strategy, we would be finding setups right now, but we're going for the other strategy, so we're going to ignore that for the moment. Okay, so demand zone here. You can see price pushed up really nicely from this zone. Fair value gaps. The most extreme is here, so we'd want that to be filled before we take any buys, and we can now make the zone smaller because that extreme fair value gap is in this candle here. Oh, so moving on, we may not come back down here today, it may be another day, so let's see what we get, see if we can come back. There we go. Okay, so we came back into the zone, and we've taken out the fair value gaps, and we haven't closed below yet. So let's see what the next candle does. You can see that we came down, liquidity grabbed off the bottom. All right, and now we've pushed back up. So if the next candle breaks this candle's high, it would be an entry. Now, obviously, when I click this, it's going to plot whatever it will do. But just imagine that we're now patiently waiting for the next candle to break this candle's high. And if it does, we're going to click the buy button. Okay. So we haven't got it yet. So we're going to wait for the next candle to see if it will break this candle's high. It does. So that's, for me, a trigger into the trade. It sounds like there's football on today because there's lots of people screaming football chants. So stop loss, we're going to go just below here. We'll go for around 10 pips. And then we're going to go for our buy here. Now, another thing to look at is we've got this move here. Now, if we get out our fib, this area is below the 50% of this move. Okay, from the extreme low to extreme high. This is in underneath the 50%. So it's in a discounted range. Now, I won't go into that too much at the moment, but that's another confluence that you can use. If the zone is below the 50% on the Fibonacci tool, that's a good sign. Okay, so now we're just going to play price out and see what we can get. All right. And there's our trade. Okay, so that's the strategy. I haven't traded this. This is just, I just found this randomly. But you can see that we had really nice, powerful move up. Okay. And that means that this is a strong demand zone. Now, what demand is and supply is when you have these strong areas, to make price do this, you need tons of volume. Like, even if we had a group of, like, I don't know, 500 people trading the same thing, we wouldn't be able to make it do this. This is millions of pounds, tens of millions of pounds worth of movement, right, and liquidity to push this up. So what we've got is lots of buying orders here, which has pushed price up dramatically. So what will happen usually is they then bring price back down, buy again at this discounted rate to make some more money. And as you can see, we got that perfectly. So let's, where's our 1-to-1? So at this point, we would have taken 80% of this, got our profit. So this trade is now a winner. Stop losses at break even, and then we're going to let this push up. Now you can just see that we got a new subscriber, Chris Quitzana. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. So we're going to let this run a run now and see what it does. Goes to break even. Okay, so that's why we take our first TP at 1-to-1, because we can get that profit out. Now we might have a reaction again and push up, but we're going to just let it do its thing now. Once I've taken a trade, I don't like to take another one too quickly afterwards. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, let's go back. So now we've got 3 o'clock happening. We're going to go down to the 1-minute chart. And this is the 3 o'clock strategy that I use. Okay, so once the box appears, that is 3 o'clock. There it is. So with this strategy, I either wait for the liquidity grab and then a change of character in the trend. Okay, so we actually had a liquidity grab here off at the top of this high. We've got a fair value gap here. Okay, and we've changed the character of this upward trend. So we've got a higher high, sorry, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, new lower low, breaking the trend across here. So if price comes into this fair value gap, we could look for a sell here. Okay, I'm going to count that as a tap. We just tapped into that. Yes, we did. You can see the fair value gap starts here. We just tapped in. So we would take a trade. Let's say it tapped in and it pushed down a little bit. We got in here. I'm going to go for stop loss of 4 pips, just above the fair value gap here. Actually, we go for 3.3, and we're going to go for a 1 to 2. No, we're going to go for a 6 pip. Yeah, 1 to 2 there. Okay, so this is the trade. It tapped into that fair value gap, and now we're looking for price to continue to the downside. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Okay, so that is a fail. We didn't get that. So if we went for a 1 to 1, we would have got that, to be fair. But we went straight for a 1 to 2. So let's analyze the market and see what we can get now. So we've had. Are we going to get another opportunity? I don't know. Yes. Okay. So we got another opportunity here. So we had price push up quite dramatically. We've taken liquidity off this high here. We've then had an impulse down, which has broken this character here. Okay, this lower high here has now become a new lower low, breaking through this point. We've got a nice big fair value gap here, which price has come into. So let's say we got in around here, stop loss above here, and then we'll go for a 1.5 for our first TP. And then so on. Ah, getting roasted today on this day. Okay. Now this trade, for example, this area actually works best on S&P 500, I found. So if we go to the S&P 500, let's have a look. Let's go back to this. So I showed you a really nice example of that, the other strategy of the supply and demand. Where is it? Okay, this supply and demand strategy here with our first TP down here. Beautiful. Now moving on to the 3 o'clock strategy, where we'll go to the S&P 500, which is usually the better one for us to trade this strat on. So we're going to go back. Let's go back to the beginning of this week. Oh no, that's Friday. Yeah, beginning of this week this way. Remember, guys, if you've got any questions, please give a shout. Don't forget to like the stream as well. Subscribe if you're new here. This stream is a celebration of getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I'm super stoked about, and I really appreciate the support. So if you haven't joined the family yet, join the family. Click that subscribe button. Okay. Sorry, I just had to do a bit of the streamer stuff there. Right, we're going back to Monday. Okay, this is going to be the last one I do, and then I have got someone arriving, which I'm going to have to go and let in. So I'm going to start bringing the stream to an end after that with a few more updates. So let's go to 3 o'clock. Oh my god. Right. And then we'll go back down to the 1 minute chart and see if we can find a setup. Now this strategy is still fairly new for me. The other two are I've been trading for a long time. This one is fairly new, and it's one I'm still perfecting. So let's see how this plays out. Okay. So went a little bit too far here. So I'm going to go for the buy here, purely because we've had a nice move up here and a big fair value gap. So we'll take, let's say we got a buy around when we tapped in. This one, I like to go for 3 points and then 5 points as the target. Okay, so also to remember, we're in this upward trend, so my bias is still to the upside. So let's see how this goes. And we got roasted. It's not going too well on this one. But what we have now got is a liquidity grab. So this is probably a more patient trade to take. So we've had our push up. Okay, we liquidity grabbed across here, but we didn't get our big move down to find the fair value gap. I took a trade off of this area. In hindsight, wasn't a very good trade, obviously, but we can now look to make this loss back in this session. So we've now had a new liquidity grab across here, and now we've got an impulse down with lots of fair value gaps which haven't been tapped into yet. So let's see if we can get a trade off this. Now if we lose on this trade, then screw it. Alright, so we've got a tap in right there on that fair value gap. Now it seems crazy, but I'm going to go for the sell, just as we tapped into here, and follow momentum down like so. Okay, there we go. So literally that first little tap straight into the zone, pushing down, we got our 5 ticks. Now we can take our first TP and let this thing run. We've taken back the loss from here and made a little bit more. So let's see where the runner goes, and then we'll do a few more days on this, and then I'll bring the session to an end. So let's just play this out. Okay, so you can see the runner went down quite a bit. At its extreme, we would have got a 3-to-1 risk to reward. We haven't hit break even just yet, but looks like we probably will. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's go on to the next day, see if we can find another example. Right, just got to check my phone. My phone's been blowing up. Oh, hold on. I'm getting shouted at from outside. My friend's here. Hold on. That was weird. Just threw my keys out the window. Right. Going for 3 o'clock. Okay, this is going to be the last day. And then I'm going to give you an update of everything again. And then, yeah, we're going to leave the stream here. So, ooh, went too far. Okay, we're on the 5 minute here, so we can get a nice look on the 1 minute. Let's go down to here. Okay, so we're going to look for a liquidity grab before we take. Wow. Okay. Let's see what we can find. Alright, still no trades yet, because we haven't had a liquidity grab really, we just had this big impulse down. Okay. We've had this push down, taking out liquidity below these lows, and we just had a little tap into this fair value gap here. Okay, with an impulse up, which is broken character. Okay, so let's see if we can get this going on. We're already quite in profit if we had managed to tap in. We can always, even after the tap in, you can go a little bit later on. All right, but let's say we get it right on the tap in, we're going for 5. There we go. Nice. So what happened there is we had a big push down, but no liquidity grab really. I mean, I suppose you could call this a bit of a liquidity grab off this high, but it's not. So we had a big push down. We had equal lows here. Then price pushed down. So we had new lower low, tried to make a new lower high, but then we broke above that, changing this little character of the trend, right? So we had this low, high, low, high, low, high, low. Didn't make a new low, made a new high though. So we broke above that, changed the character and trend, came down to the first fair value gap, tapped in that, and then we entered for a buy. So let's see where the runner would have gone. Would have gone to break even. Cool. So that's the trade. I'm going to make a video, a more in-depth video on this strategy very soon. Also, on the Asian night high and low one, I haven't made an in-depth strategy video on that, but I've obviously went through that a lot today, and you'll be able to watch that on. I'll leave the VOD up, so you guys can check that out if you want to. But I will be bringing a video out for that soon. Now, I'm going to round off the stream here and tell you about what's going on for those who haven't heard yet. So we have our website launching very soon. It's going to be up in a couple of days, and I will announce that on our free Telegram first. So if you're not a member of the free Telegram, go down there to the link in the description, join the Telegram, and see what we've got going on over there. Usually I'll post on the free one, I'll post trades that I've taken in the day so you can see the analysis. Post videos on there, a few other bits and bobs, and I've got some new content to go on there very soon. And now, because we've hit over 100 subscribers on there, I will begin to post here and there a live trade that you can take alongside me or watch to see what happens for education purposes if you wish. On the website, we're going to have available one-to-one training where you can book an hour and a half with me, a Zoom call. We're going to get on the charts and basically just get into the nitty-gritty of trading. I'm going to give you everything that I've learned over the last nearly 8 years now, or it is 8 years of looking at these little candlestick things on this chart, and give you as much value as I can. And it will start at a lower price for the first month or two before it will go up after that. Also, paid Telegram will be coming out very soon, and in there I'm going to put pretty much every single trade that I take. So you'll be trading alongside me. If I take a trade, then you're taking the same trade as I am, and I'll post that as a picture, and then you can go onto the chart and take the trade if you wish as well. But more info on that very soon. Also on the website, and coming out a bit later on, we're going to have a clothing line. Now, I love clothes. I'm really into that, and going to be having trade inspired clothing, hoodies, t-shirts, caps, hats, other stuff. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys that. I also mentioned that there's going to be a giveaway. Now, there is going to be a giveaway. I still need to work out the logistics of it, but I'm going to try and give away a My Forex Funds challenge. Probably either a 5k or a 10k. Who knows yet? There will be many more giveaways in the future. I'm going to try and do it regularly to give back to you guys, because I really appreciate the support that you guys have given me. So I'm going to leave the stream here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the stream. Like the stream. It's going to help the algorithm, and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, go check out the links in the description. I really appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for the support once again. 1,000 subscribers is insane, and yeah, I'm super stoked. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Let's stay in touch, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.